Hi all. In last class we have discussed about tenders and what is tenders and necessity of tenders and sale tenders, tender, what is tender notice, what is tender documents, what is EMD, security deposit, opening of tenders and comparative statement. Due to some technical problem, we have stopped at acceptance of tenders. By after completing this, we go for arbitration, the third topic of this chapter. Okay, first we have to complete the previous one. Yes, acceptance of tenders. So in tender process, in tender process we will select the lowest tender. Generally lowest tender is accepted unless there is a specific reason to do so, such as poor past performance and limited financial or physical capacity of the contractor. And conditional tenders are generally not accepted. If any case of conditional contracts, the rates are lower despite the conditions, the tender may be accepted. If the rates quoted are on high side, all may be rejected and re-invited to obtain a reasonable offers in order to ensure that there is no legal complications in not accepting any tenders. A clause is to be added in a tender notice reserving the right to reject any or all tenders without assigning any without assigning any reasons. So tender those offer is accepted should be intimated in written and asked to assign the contract documents within a specified period of time. If he fails to do so, the offer is cancelled and EMD will be fortified and work will be allotted to the contractor those tender is next highest. So basically what we do, we will those who selected we will inform, intimated within a written, asked to sign the contract document. If he fails, whatever the EMD he paid, that will be fortified, and the next who is next to the highest will be called for the tender, and the site of work is will be formally handed over to the contractor, so has to start the work after signing the contract agreement and paying the necessary security deposit. So sometimes this security deposit may be deducted from the running bills. So work order. So when a letter of acceptance is received by a contractor, so when we invite a contractor who is awarded, a letter of acceptance is received from the contractor, a formal agreement takes place between the contractor and the authority or owner. The contractor is instructed to take possession of the site and start the work immediately. The letter for pursuit is called a work order. The order which we will provide to the contractor to start the work, and we will give the position and or the site, that is called work order. The letter for the purpose is called work order, is carried out on the specific terms and conditions of the department. Every department will have a printed work order books for the doing such works. Approximate quantities of different items of works and detailed specifications of each item of work, time for completion of the whole work, penalty that will be imposed for not filling the work terms and conditions are given in the. So all the special terms and conditions and penalties if he unable to complete the work in time, or if he unable to follow the terms and conditions. So the agreement which comes between the contractor and department And what are the terms and conditions? The documents will be it is written document executed by the successful tender when a tender of person or a company is accepted. A document is prepared by a mutual understanding containing the terms and conditions of the contract. That is before the work is given out to the company or a person on contract basis. A contract agreement is to be prepared by the department with the ren- renderer. renderer. Contract agreement consisting. So, what a contract agreement consists? Title page, index page, tender notice, tender form, schedule of quantities, drawings, general specifications, detailed specification, schedule of issuing of works, and condition of contract. So, all the things which we have discussed in the previous class. Hope you all understand about tenders. So, today we have discussed about, last class we have discussed about what is tender, what is the necessity of tenders, okay, what is sealed tender, what is tender notice, what tender documents are there, what is EMD, what is security deposit, what is opening of tender, what is comparative statement, and acceptance of tenders and work orders, and what are the contract agreements and conditions of the contract. Okay, so we will go for next topic. So our next topic is arbitration. Previously, we have discussed in the last class, before class, we discussed about contracts. Yesterday's class, we discussed about tenders. Now we are discussing about arbitration. So, what is arbitration? So, basically, arbitration is is the dispute settlement process. Okay, any deviation or any misunderstanding between the owner and a contractor, and which will be solved by a arbitral. Okay, a settlement process between two agreeable parties to appoint an arbiter. So both parties, those who are involved in dispute, they will appoint an arbiter to give a binding solution on the disputes. Okay, that person has to give binding solution on that issue. It is a way to settle the dispute outside the courts, thereby saving the time and resource at the same time. If they go to court, it may be prolonged. To avoid this prolonging and expenditure, arbitration process will be adopted. So in arbitration process, the both parties will select one person. Sometimes the both parties will select one person, different person, and they try to solve the dispute such that the both parties can be convinced. So arbitration is the part of the alternative dispute resolution mechanism. So arbitration is the part of alternative dispute resolution mechanism that benefits parties who wants to avoid normally lengthy recourse to the local courts for settlements of disputes. As all we know that any issues went to the court, it will may take maximum time, which may, when it comes to a construction activity, due to this court issues, it may prolong once years, which may be lost to the contractor at the same time owners also. To avoid this type of issues, arbitration is a short and fast speed process where both parties choose the person who they believe in the same project, and it will be he has to solve the issue without any deviation, which will be convinced the both parties, by which these all court issue, by going court expenditures in the judicial issues can be reduced. It is in fact a legal technique for the resolution of dispute outside the courts. wherein the parties to a dispute refer it to one or more persons, namely arbiter, or by those decisions a awardee. They agree to be bond. So, arbiter will dispute the issue, and outside the court, where the party to wherein the parties to a dispute refer it to be one or more person, namely arbiter. By those decision, the decision given by the arbiter is called a award. So, what is the necessity of arbitration? So, generally, basically, any issue when we go to court, there will be a lot of expenditure, lot of time consuming, which may so project time increases automatically. It will affect on the cost of the project. Due to this, but through the arbitration, there will be a more advantages when we go for it instead of going court. Arbitration is the most formal alternative to the litigation. In this process, the disputing parties, okay, in arbitration, both the disputing parties present their case to a neutral third party. So both have to select a one person who is neutral and who renders a decision. Who give both parties believe that that person give a perfect judgment. Both have to select that person. Arbitration is widely used to resolve disputes in both the private and public sectors. So this process is mostly are both and private and government sectors are adopted to avoid this courts and court expenditures. Arbitration is generally considered a more effective, efficient process than a litigation because it is quicker, less expensive, provides greater flexibility of process and procedure. The parties often select the arbiter and exercise the control over certain aspects of arbitration procedure. Arbiters typically have more expertise in the specific subject matter of the dispute than no do judges. So when compared to judgment, arbitration is fast and speed and less comparative and greater flexibility. Greater flexibility. They may also have greater flexibility in decision making. So it have a greater flexibility in decision making. So in any ways, arbitration is better when compared to the court. So dispute may arise between the contractor and owner because of several factors such as recovery on account of alleged delays, defective works or excessive consumption of materials, etc. Misrepresentation of project plans, specifications, contract clauses are bound to come up during the progress of work. It may be anything. Maybe recovery on alleged delays, defective works, excessive consumption of materials, any misunderstanding between the owner and contractor, any deviation, any dispute between the contractor and owner. Okay, the only way of solving such situation is through law courts or arbitration. But the complex system of judgment through the law court is extremely time consuming, extending through years. So, as the judgment took more time, the project cost may vary. Okay, it will affect on the project. So, in the interest of parties, a quicker disposal of such cases is highly imperative, which is accomplished by the process of arbitration, achieved by the arbitration. So, in arbitration, arbiter. Who is arbiter? Arbiter is the person chosen by the parties to solve the dispute between them. Arbiter acts as a judge and gives his solution. So arbiter is a person which is chosen by both the parties, and he is to solve the dispute between them. Or arbiter act as a judge and give his judgment. When both parties are agrees, this person, both parties have to agree. When the both parties are agreed, this person as a judge. He is known as a solo arbiter. So when both parties are selected a single person, then that person is called a solo arbiter. But when each party has their own arbiter, when the both people selected two different arbiters, he is called as a joint arbiter. For joint arbiters, an emperor is selected with the consent of both parties. So if both parties select one arbiter, so then called it as solo arbiter. If the both parties selected different arbiters for the both persons, the both person, then it is called a joint arbiter. If it is joint arbiter, both joint arbiter have to select one empire on consent with both parties is called a empire. So till now we have discussed what is arbitration and what is arbiter, right? And if one arbiter is there, what we call it is a solo arbiter. If the both parties select both two arbiters, then it is called a joint arbiters. In case of both parties selected individual arbiter, they both have to select one empire, one judge is called a empire. So while we selecting the arbiter, how we have to select the arbiter? What his qualifications? How we have to designate him as a arbiter? So there are some rules and regulation that we see. Selection of arbiter is much more important. He should possess the following qualification for the purpose. An arbiter must be expert in particular branch of profession and matter in disputes. So when compared to courts, arbiter is a best because when we think about arbitration, the arbiter, the empire whom we are selecting, he we select within the project, within the department. So within the department, within the project means the person who is act as arbiter and emperor, he is from that project itself. So we select the person who is expert in that branch. So one of the advantage is that the person who is act as arbiter or a judge, he should be a expert in a particular branch of profession and and matter in disputes. If he is proficient in that field, it will be very much easy to the arbiter and parties that he can do a perfect judgment. So one of the advantage of adopting a arbitration. So he should not be able to relate any of the related to the any party. So that person should be a not related to any party. He should he should be neutral. He must be impartial, unbiased, free from ill feelings against any of the parties. So he should be perfect, he should be impartial, he should not free from illegal feelings against any parties and should not have any parties partiality towards any parties. He must have a unquestionable character. Okay, we should be select a good character person, unquestionable character, high integrity, and unshakable faith in a justice, who believe 100% justification. We should be select that type of attitude person as an arbiter and an empire. For engineering project, an arbiter should be a person not below the rank of superintending engineer. So in engineering project, arbiter should be a cadre of SC. Okay. superintending engineer. Preferably, he must be free from the panel of arbiters provided by the High Court. So he must be free the panel of arbiters provided by the High Court. So he should be provided by the High Courts, free from the provided by the High Court. So as we discussed advantages, so advantages of arbitration. So advantage. The main thing why we need to adopt arbitration is if we go to the court, lawyers, it may consume more money and it may consume maximum time, months, years, which leads to project into losses. And when we compare to court, if we adopt the arbitration, so arbitration enable us to select the person as arbiter from the same project, means we can select the person who well aware have a sufficient knowledge regarding that person will give better results when we compare to the courts. And when we compare to the judgment law of courts, arbitration is very quick. So let's see what are the advantages. There are many advantages of arbitration. Fairness. So as we discussing that arbiter should be a free from the both parties. He should not have any partiality towards anyone. He should believe that believe to be a 100% justice. So that type of mentality character should be selected. And in engineering, their arbiter rank should not be less than superintending engineer. Okay, advantages. So fairness. Both parties arbiter resulting in a fair outcome, especially when compared to the traditional legal trial in which neither party has to control over the jury judgment selection. Parties can also agree to choose an arbiter that has experience in their specific area of legal disputes. So the one of the more advantage of arbitration is that we can select the arbiter who is having a vast knowledge or experience in that particular field or in that field where disputes are arising, and when compared to the traditional legal trials. In traditional legal trials, the judge may not belongs to same field. He may not aware the about the he may not have sufficient knowledge about the project. Okay, which may lead to unfair judgments. But when we compare to arbitration, in arbitration we select the person from the same department or project, means we can able to select a person who is having a vast knowledge and experience in the specific area of legal disputes. Okay, timeliness. Okay, so the basic thing why we adopt arbitration is that quicker solution. Okay, when we go through the legal traditional legal method, it is a more time being, more economical consuming. So to avoid that, we adopted arbitration. Okay, timeliness. A legal resolution through the arbitration is much quicker than waiting for a trial date. When we go to the court will give every month dates, which may delay the project time and obstruct the process of the progress of the work. In arbitration is less formal and more flexible in terms of scheduling. So it is more comfortable, less formal and flexible in scheduling. The discover process is a simple phone calls, cutting down on much of traditional trial procedures. So it may be done by simple phone calls, which will cut down the much expenses on a traditional trials. Cost. Definitely, the expenditure occurred in a traditional legal trials, and the expenses occurred in arbitration is less when compared to the traditional legal trials. So arbitration do not include expert witness, doesn't include expert witnesses are required as much as legal preparation. Both parties often split the cost of the arbitration. Both parties have to bear the both expenditures. Meanwhile, the process is much cheaper when compared to the this traditional legal process. Arbitration is much cheaper, and expenses both are paid by the both the parties. And arbiter is also a expert and experienced person in that field that will enable us to give a best results. And confidential, the arbitration legal process is more private than a trial. So it is more private than a trial. And technical knowledge, so both parties have a distinct advantage of appointing an arbiter who has a technical knowledge and expertise which facilitates satisfactory judgments. When we compare to court, the judges may not be from the field of dispute, and which may lead to the disadvantage with the both parties. But when we come to the arbitration, arbiter can be selected from the same department or same project, and we arbitration can be enable or allow us to select the person as an arbiter or an umpire who is having a vast knowledge and experience in that dispute issue, which will be helpful to the parties to get a satisfactory judgment. Okay. Okay. Finality. There is a level of finality to the arbitration process because it cannot be appealed. Both parties can move on the following outcome. So, arbitration, there is a level of finality to the arbitration process because it cannot be appealed. Both parties can move on the following outcome. Once the arbitration is awarded, they have to follow the both parties. They cannot appeal further. Agreeableness. Arbitration often results in an agreeable outcome as the parties are encouraged to come up with a solution together. So arbitration allows us to discuss the both parties such that the dispute can be resolved and both parties can be convinced such a way that they can be convinced and resolve the issue accordingly. Simplified procedure. Legal outcomes are more adaptable to the two parties present in the dispute. Each party does not have to hire any attorney for representations. Okay. At the end, arbitration is a simple and legal outcome are more affordable to the two parties present in the dispute. Each parties do not have to hire any attorney for the representation. Okay. So overall, arbitration is more advantageous when compared to the judgment or traditional court procedure because where in court procedure Judge may not aware may not have sufficient knowledge about the project, may not have a knowledge about the dispute which is arised, why it is arised, what can be perfect judgment can be given, and it may be prolonged, and it may be more expensive when compared to the arbitration. When it compared to arbitration which can be adopted within the office, which can be adopted within the project, and parties are have allowed or enabled to select one arbiter, or they can select two arbiters according to their requirements, and they have a possibility of they can select the arbiter of arbiter person who should have a well experienced and vast knowledge in the subject of the disputes. Okay, and arbitration can allow them to dispute can be settled within the office. Then when it compared to the courts, we no need to visit judges, courts, lawyers. Okay, everything will be resolved within the office, and arbiter umpires are within the members, higher officials of the project, so they can briefly discuss the issues, and they can able to give the judgment which can be convinced the both parties. So with this, we completed our fourth chapter from construction management entrepreneurship. In the last before class, we discussed about tenders, and the previous class we discussed about in the last before class we discussed about contracts. Previous class we discussed about tenders, and now we have discussed about arbitration. So overall arbitration is advantageous over a traditional court legal process, and arbitration allows the we can select the person as arbiter who is having a vast knowledge in the field. Thank you. Hope you all understood regarding contracts, tenders, arbitration. Okay, advantages of contracts, advantages of tender, necessity of tender, procedure of tendering, and what is arbitration, what is the necessity of arbitration, and what are the qualification of arbiter, what are the advantages of arbitration. Thank you.